I saw that the angels of God hastened to the assistance of all who were struggling with all of their power to resist evil angels. And the angels of God went to help those who were persevering in prayer, pleading with God. Angels of God went to their side. She says that the angels left those who made no effort to help themselves. And I lost sight of them, she says. Um, if we're going to get through what we're going through, and I know that the Bible in the Gospel of Matthew and Mark and so forth talks about the perplexities of the last days. We would have more problems than we can solve, that mankind can solve. And we are in that predicament right now. There are more problems than we have answers to. And we need God's help right now. And we must learn to lay hold on the throne of God and talk to him about it. Church members, young and old, should be educated to go forth to proclaim the last message to the world. If they go in humility, angels of God will go with them, teaching them how to lift up their voice in prayer and how to raise the voice in song and how to proclaim the gospel message for these times. Right now, we're in the midst of a pandemic, so we can't do a whole lot of gathering, but we can get on our telephones. We can extend invitations to people to listen to the gospel. If there ever was a time that men and women were vulnerable or more vulnerable to the gospel, it's now, because many people are afraid. They are scared. They don't know what's going to happen. Some of their family members are gone already because of COVID-19, and they don't know where to turn. And God will use these circumstances as we spread the word about him and his love for them and his willingness to help them. More and more they'll see their need of God, when maybe in days gone by and in the past they didn't feel a need. Everything was going good. You know, God works in mysterious ways. And sometimes he brings some people to their senses when hard times come. And they have nowhere else to turn, and no human being have the answer. So I'm hoping that we can use our phones, our texting, to point people to him, to invite them to our Zoom services. Give them an invitation. Send them a link where they can join in. More and more, I'm going to be making appeals because people need the Lord. And they're more vulnerable to respond now than ever before. And I want you to know that the gospel is going forth, and there are people through Zoom who are winning souls. People are responding. Often in the care of the suffering, much attention is given to minor matters, while the patient's need of great all-saving truths of the gospel, which would minister to both soul and body, is forgotten. When we neglect to offer prayer for the sick, we deprive them of God's blessings. For angels of God are waiting to minister to these souls in response to our petitions on their behalf. Let's take advantage of the opportunity to advance the gospel any way we can. Surely we can't go up and talk to people one-on-one, and we can't get closer than 6 feet. But we have the telephone, and we have emails, and we have texts. And in our conversation with people, whatever it may be, for the moment, we can turn the conversation just for a little while, especially as the Spirit leads. He will teach us how to do this. God will still do his work through these most difficult times. You know, the Bible says, let's work while it's day, because night is coming when no man can work. Well, it ain't quite night yet. There's still an opportunity to work, even though we can't work like we used to work for souls. But let's take advantage of it. Let's not waste the time. Could men see with heavenly vision, they would behold companies of angels that excel in strength, stationed about those who have kept the word of Christ's patience. With sympathizing tenderness, angels have witnessed their distress and have heard their prayers. No prayer will escape the all-seeing eye of God. God will hear our prayers and our pleas for our neighbors, for our family members, for our friends, our colleagues, our co-workers who do not know him. He will hear, and angels are waiting